And we are live, I think. Yeah, we're live, Al.
When you say
Yeah, we're
live,
live, Al.
should I have got dressed? When you say live,
No, I didn't. I'm
oh
only
okay.
wearing a t-shirt because they can't see me from the waist down.
Oh, that's okay then.
I
Because
mean,
I'm naked as well,
I mean,
kind of naked.
no cock involved. Sorry, Twitch. Uh, so here we are, in between Christmas and New Year, in the weird social void that this is.
It's
Um,
still Christmas. I'm sorry, it
oh, it
is.
is.
I consider Christmas to be from about the 22nd of December to the 2nd of January.
Yeah,
I'm happy to cease celebrations after 1st of January, but
I'm the same.
like before that, it's as far as I'm concerned, festivities show remain. It's frustrating and annoying to see people, unlike like the 27th of December, it's the Christmas tree down and all the cards away and
I
all the joy taken out of our lives now. Brilliant, yeah.
yeah, I can't get over that. I saw someone who took their tree down Boxing Day.
Why?
I don't know. Like, if nothing else, no one wants to be fucking taking down a tree on Boxing Day. Like, you want
No.
to be sat in your pants trying to push another piece of turkey into a body that cannot contain any more turkey. But there we go. That was what they were up to. So fuck knows what that's about. But no, it's more. It's definitely still Christmas. But every year between Christmas and like Christmas Day, well, Boxing Day and New Year's Day, you'll notice a lot of people floating about because if you haven't got anything planned, it seems that it becomes this. No one knows what day it is. What do they call it? Crimbo limbo is the term I heard last year. No one knows
I
what
actually
day it
had that.
is.
I had that the other day. I was like, is what date? Like, just kind of thinking what date is. Because, like, at the moment, with like all the lockdown nonsense and stuff, I kind of the children on my calendar.
Yep.
So I like I know if they're at school, it's a weekday and things like that. But obviously, because they're off all the time now, it being Christmas, I've just completely lost track of the days.
Oh,
So
it's
it's just like,
horrible.
what day is it? I don't know.
No, it makes zero sense. And like obviously, well, my two are homeschoolers, you know, I have been for a wee while. So I've lost all track of society. Like, I'm basically feral at this point. Um, More so than I ever was anyway. But now it's yeah, it's weird. But I've been feeling I don't know. I felt a little bit of a lack of focus, shall we say? Like I didn't because obviously we're not streaming until we're back into January, or at least apart from tonight. So I didn't even have that to sort of set my calendar by, and I was a bit. So I've been very much looking forward to this, which is been something to hang my hat on. Hang my hat on? That's not right, is it? It's been something anyway. It's been a thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing my hat. I should point out I nearly killed myself getting this hat because I couldn't be bothered to stand up, and it's hung on a hook above my chair. So I used my sword, which is sat next to my chair, to knock the hat off, and then nearly lost grip of the sword and nearly decapitated myself before the award show began.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've done many things like that where I've been sat at my desk doing something, playing games, obviously.
of course,
Make it sound like I'm doing anything constructive with my life. And there's been something just slightly out of reach, and I spend more time looking about myself to
yeah,
to think of what can I use to grab that and bring it closer to me than it would just for me just to stand up and just reach across and get it. And
yeah,
then when I do find something, what will happen is I'll fashion some kind of rudimentary Iron Age tool out of a crisp packet and a biro and like a USB charging cable and try and hook the thing that I'm trying to get and normally knock it further away from me. So I have to get up and walk further to get it.
yeah. I once genuinely there was I can't remember what it was I was trying to get. I think it was like a bottle of Coke or something that was across the room, and I'm sat in my room. This is back when I was living with my parents. I'm sat in my room and it's across the room. I was like, oh for
Well,
fuck's
last
sake,
year.
motherfucker! I'm old. Um, I managed. I dug around in the drawer next to me and found a spool of RJ45 cable. So I let off a length of it and made a wee grappling hook out of out of paper clips. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm committed to this now." Chucked it across the room, hooked the coke, yanked it, caught hold of the plug for the extension cord, pulled it out the wall and killed the power of my PC that I was sat at the time. So,
Amazing.
you know, I do what I can. So yeah, so how was your Christmas? Anyway, setting aside our dangerous escapades to be lazy.
Yeah, it was alright. It's Christmas. Just kind of, it's a sea of wrapping paper and cardboard that is 17 times bigger than the item it contains,
Yeah.
and wrestling with the recycling bins and going around to our next door neighbours, see who's got space, and to be greeted by most of them just on the floor sobbing, holding their hands out saying, I have no space. And then the in-laws murdering me with, it's like Hansel and Gretel, like they were feeding me up to cook me, and then not being able to sleep because of noxious gases leaking out of every orifice from various meats and vegetables, and then wake up in the morning feeling much better because you've deflated, and then to go downstairs to be greeted with more food and all the shit that you thought to yourself, no, I'll just tie that up in the morning, it's Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
And then you sag on the couch and just think, fuck it. How was yours?
Yeah, like that. Pretty much. It was weird, in some ways, because we normally go out and visit the family in the afternoon, which obviously we didn't do this year because of too many households involved, mixing various places. So we were like, well, we'll be sensible. So my in-laws came to us for the day, and then we video called my sister and my dad and brother-in-law and all of that because they were all together, and it was nice. Like the kids got pretty much everything they asked for. That they the key points, I think. Not everything.
So here's a question, right?
Yeah.
Before you go up to the awards, as we let people fill up the auditorium.
Indeed.
They're
They're still at the bar.
What was the one toy that your kids got that you thought, fuck, I kind of want that myself? Because there's always one or two.
To be fair, I think it was actually one that we bought for Callum, and then afterwards I was like, should have got two, right? But it was we got him a so he loves his Lego, and as far and you never outgrow Lego. It's fucking amazing. So he loves his Lego, and he also loves Minecraft. So my in-laws had got him and obviously we knew about it. They got him a Minecraft set, which is. It's really awesome. It's the pillagers, but it's got a little lever that blows open the iron golem cage, and then you can take the iron golem out, and he can start just punting pillagers into space. So he got that one around there, and he built that on Christmas Day. And then on Boxing Day, I sat down with him and said, do you want to build your other one? He's like, oh yeah. So we had got him one, and it's the Ender Dragon. And on the box, it was like, oh, that looks quite cool. When you actually get into it, it's got a fucking it's got a chest beam that it fires, which admittedly the Ender Dragon doesn't have, but it's got quite a range on it, and it's got so many points of articulation. And we built it, and then he put it down, and then sat his ass down on the couch and started playing Super Mario Odyssey on his Switch. And I was like, and about half an hour later, I'm still playing with this fucking dragon. Seeing how many poses I can get it into. At some point, I turned it into a scorpion, which was interesting. So. But yeah, I think it's probably just the Lego. It's always the Lego with me, though. Every year, one of them gets Lego, and I just want it.
I mean, the boys got some. They got some Lego, but the two things that I really was like, nah, I kind of want it. They both got scooters that were Nerf scooters that have essentially a twin 50 cal emplacement thing on the handlebars, like built into them. That's electric powered. It's just ridiculous. Like it's built. They're both belt fed, so they can just scoot around, and they've got these two kind of like fire buttons, one on each where each thumb would be. Depress that, and it's just a hail of bullets out of these. I'm like, what the?
That's fucking amazing.
Fucking amazing. And so straight away, I'm thinking, well, how can we convert these to like we could put drawing pins in them. And put them on. I
have this image of you on B&Q the next day just ordering lengths of Dowling and sat there whittling it like a Buffy episode.
Yeah, like they're so cool. Obviously, a bit of a design flaw in that they're scooters and you would generally use them outside, so you ain't ever finding those Nerf bullets again.
No.
Ever. As they fucking... I'm sure Finn is going to probably start some kind of motorcycle gang with them at some point. But and
The
also,
Hex Angels.
yeah, one of them got one of these drones, but
Right.
like a big, decent drone with like a camera and stuff on it. And
I honestly thought
that's
you were going
just
to say
cool.
that had a twin 50 cal mounted on it as well. Like air
No,
superiority. Fucking.
it's just cool, man. Like it's just cool. Like it's got this little like it's like a iPad screen kind of thing. You can look through it and fly, and it's just And obviously, I'm just like, well, can you put Nerf guns on this? This is fucking amazing. It's
It
great. So yeah,
can.
so they were the two things that I kind of wanted. He did ask me to help him teach him how to fly it, and then about 4 hours later, after I'd gone through all of the battery packs it came from, he was still none the wiser because I never gave him the controller. But he got to watch, and that's the true spirit of Christmas.
Exactly. Sharing is caring, as they say.
That's
So,
absolutely,
yep.
exactly.
I have to
Anyway,
say.
let's get some awards. Let's
Yeah.
get some awards.
Yeah. So we talked about hosting this way back during lockdown, didn't we? This idea sort of
We may
floated
have.
about briefly while we were playing games, I think, and then kind of I think about 4 weeks ago, I think I sent you the first draft with a rough idea. We both went, yeah, that'd be good, and then I've done it today, so fuck it, we'll do it live. As
Sounds about
per,
right.
yeah, in keeping with our so. The first award that we are presenting tonight, and this is the best bit because now I'm off camera for the rest of this, so I can just
Rejoice, everybody!
So that's when I start. No more of my face, and I can start drink. I mean, I can start. Yeah. Anyway, on to the awards. So, the first award of the night is the Let Me In Award for the worst server queues. Now, can you hazard a guess who's winning this? I mean,
I know who's winning this.
of course you do, but even if you didn't, you would know who's winning this.
Yeah, I know who's winning this.
Yeah.
Because
We
it's like it's like how can I put it in politically correct terms? In fact, I won't use that analogy because I'll get cancelled.
fair.
It's like a food that you really really enjoy, but it doesn't agree with you and gives you the shits. But
Yes.
you eat it anyway and think, "I'll just deal with it. I'll deal with it tomorrow."
Absolutely, it is. It's that. It's that moment when someone turns to you and goes, "Why are you still eating shrimp? You know you're allergic." You're like, "Yeah, but it's shrimp. It's
exactly.
it's bad for you." Or to be fair, it's like maca and ice cream because by God, that boy eats ice cream most times we talk, and he's lactose intolerant, so that's no fun for anyone around him. So yeah,
Well, you
it
and
is.
sugar.
Or me and sugar. Yeah, actually, that is the perfect analogy. I did sit here last night mainlining double lollies and Parma violets, and I'm fucking diabetic.
Jesus Christ.
So, but yeah, it is, of course. Drum roll.
Is there a drum roll playing?
There is. World of
Amazing.
Warcraft. Yeah, you can't hear the drum roll, so for you it's just an awkward silence. But it is World of Warcraft, obviously.
It has to be.
mean-
They'll win this every other year.
Yeah, there's no way in hell they're not. I mean, I have to say, I felt terrible. Because on launch night, of course, we're sat there, we're all waiting for it to launch. We're all just there, just bumming about in the game, doing bits and pieces, just bored and desperately waiting for launch time. And then one by one, I watched everyone get kicked.
Yep.
Except me.
Yeah.
And I felt fucking terrible about that.
The one person that didn't need to be on
Yeah.
was
Yeah, that was the thing as well. Like, we had all the raiders and that desperately, like, we need to, we want to find out what's going on, like, get in there and start leveling up. And I'm sat there like, I'm just streaming it so people got something to fucking do. Like, but I still maintain, I honestly think that they kicked a bunch of people off to try and keep other people on, which is just a dick move.
I truly, truly believe that.
Yeah.
Because I think it was based on length of time on. That's the only thing I can think of. Because I've been on waiting for like 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
And then to get kicked half an hour, 20 minutes before it went live, it's too convenient.
It is.
Because really I think they know if they hadn't have done that, the servers themselves would just burst into flames. Interestingly, like, They put out kind of a piece about it, and they said that what they had done is they had essentially increased the server capacity to 150%.
Right.
Because they were like, well, if we do that, then at least everyone can get on. And they absolutely could get on, but nothing worked.
No.
So
It
you
was a lag
couldn't do
fest.
anything. Yeah, you just couldn't do anything. And then when they turned it down, because everyone was like, well, I don't understand because there's no queues at all, but I just can't get in. And that's because they'd essentially just removed the limit of the amount of people that could get on, but it had the knock on effect of just
It was
completely unstable servers.
it was messy. This is the moment I should probably mention before we go any further that my my son sat me down earlier today, and he was like,
Oh, did
"Father,
they give you the birds and the bees talk?
he." I mean, if he did, it would probably be woefully inaccurate at this point. But he sat me down. He was like, "Father," he said, I'm a little worried." And this is not. This sounds like a joke. This is genuinely something he came up to me and said. He's like, "Father, I'm a bit worried about your awards." I was like, "Why?" He said, "Because all these companies, you're just planning to trash them, and they're all going to hate you, and you'll never get a review code again." And I said, "Son, don't worry about it. We don't get review codes anyway, so it's okay." But it does sound. I mean, this does sound like we are just ragging on World of Warcraft. So a few pros before we continue ragging on World of Warcraft. I do love the new expansion. I love it.
Have you played it?
You fucking look. I haven't played it as much as you, but in fairness to me, I'm also not raiding, so I don't need to. But I have, obviously, I've hit level 60, and
Well done.
I know it took a while. I've got to be honest, it took a while. There's a very good reason though, and we'll get to that later in the awards because there are other games which have robbed me of my life this year. So, but I do love like Ravendreth. If I can get my words out, Ravendreth is my favourite zone. It is gorgeous. Bastion's also gorgeous. Maldraxxus is brown. There's not an awful lot to say about that.
No.
And oh my god, the name of the other zone just went out of my head. There's 4.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
It won't come out, but Night Elf Land.
Ardenweald.
Ardenweald, thank you. Jesus Christ, I could not get that word out. I'm sorry, I think it's a mental block because the minute I arrived there and saw that big lanky monster of a thing that greets you, I never wanted to go there again. It scared me.
And you never did.
And I never did. No, I actually didn't. I didn't finish the story in Ardenweald. As soon as I hit the right level, I went straight to Revendreth, and then I was like, ooh, and I've got to go back. So, but it is awesome. Like, there's some great quest lines in there. There's some awesome cutscenes. There's some great gameplay. You've been enjoying the raids?
I've played it a wee bit.
Yeah, a smidge.
Yeah, no, the raid's really good. That's kind of the primary reason why I play is the raids, and I think Castle Nathria. It's definitely one of the better raids. It's one of the harder raids on launch, and I think it's all the better for it. The content's great. They've fixed a lot of stuff, so you don't have to play 24/7 to keep up now. You can. I would definitely say it's more alt friendly. I would say the new leveling, the way to level is really, really good. There's some shit parts of it, like the Maw is shit, absolute shit, and Torghast. I don't know. We'll see with the endless mode of Torghast, but at the moment, it's a thing. It's just a thing that you have to. It's more like a chore than an enjoyment thing. But overall, probably one of the better expansions so far that they've released. It's definitely no Wrath of the Lich King, and it's no MOP. I'd say it's probably third on my list of expansions so far.
That's fair. That's pretty good ranking, really. I mean, MOP gets a lot of hate, which is really annoying to me because I loved it. I loved everything about it, including the pandas. So, but it does.
I play a panda, so
yeah, exactly.
What was that tell you?
But I mean, it's the story Ed always tells about his first experience. Obviously, he started out as a Pandaren, and we walked into Stormwind, and he got because we were Alliance on an RP server, and he walked into Stormwind and got immediately propositioned by a guy in a golem, and that's why they are now called sex golems by our group. and that was off-putting. But it was just a sea of Panda hate because Ed came in as Mr. Pandaria launched, and it just got so trashed. But I loved it, and then after that, like Legion, Draenor, they both got a bit of a hard time. BFA, everyone seems to hate BFA in the guild.
BFA was just not good. I mean, like, Vanilla WoW, great. TBC was great. Wrath of the Lich King will probably always be my favorite expansion because Arthas. It was great. Cataclysm. It was a thing, I guess. It was okay. Storyline was okay. I feel like they completely wasted Deathwing. Had some really good raids though. MOP I think had the best world building. Like it's just it still stands up today as one of some of the best zones I think are in MOP. Warlords was shite for 90% of its length and then was okay. There just wasn't anything to do for 90% of that expansion. Legion, great.
I loved
Legion. Legion was okay. It just kind of fell down with the power creep in Legion. Your character was basically trash until you got your legendary, and then he was overpowered. It was BFA. We just won't talk about. And so far, Shadowlands is good. So yeah, but I mean, we must add. I think it's what we must say is that it's not. This is not a common occurrence with WoW. I think for the most part, considering the amount of people that play, the servers are pretty good. But every time they launch an expansion, boy oh boy, things get set on fire, things blow up, people are not happy, and it seems to just always be the case. And I think one of the major issues for me is that as it happens, Blizzard or Activision Blizzard just kind of seem to just assume that it's a thing. I mean, previous expansions when things like this have happened, they've been quick to communicate, quick to give you like, oh, here's a free 24 hours like playtime, or here's an apology, whatever. And as it's gone on, they've just kind of gone, meh, who gives a fuck? They'll still play, and we will because we're addicted.
That's the thing. So, we are. We all. I mean, there were some bitter complaints from all of us about having to wait and the lag, and those bitter complaints after very quickly gave way to essentially becoming memes, and it was just like, oh, time to log in if I can. What a fun time we're all having. And now it's,
and in fairness,
we've forgotten it.
Not all servers were affected.
No,
so there were some of the smaller servers were fine.
It is
unfortunately we play on the biggest
the
biggest server in Europe, and I think between Europe and NA, I think Draenor's the biggest server as well. So that was a factor, but just sort it out, Blizzard. Just sort it out.
It would be nice. But you've got this award.
Enjoy your award. What's next? Because I'm drinking beer and I'm feisty.
Well, up next is the
best boobies.
No.
Okay.
I gave that award to myself.
Okay.
No, up next is the Colonial Marines Memorial Award for worst game launch of 2020/ever. Now,
oh dear.
The name, obviously, Colonial Marines didn't go well. Back in day. Anyone who remembers that, it did not go well. I, however, love the game because I came along long after all the problems, and it had been patched, and we had a lot of fun with Colonial Marines playing it multiplayer, and I've spaffed on about that fucking ad nauseum. So, but definitely a game that did not launch particularly successfully. So,
no,
as we sit here in lockdown 17, the refucking or whichever lockdown we're in now, we thought we would take a look at the year, and there's been quite a few game launches this year. And they've not all gone perfectly. And you know what? I'm dragging it out, but really, is it worth it? Because I think there's not a single person who doesn't know that the winner is Fucked It 2020. Oh shit, that's the wrong slide. Sorry. It's Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, look, I don't want to trash on an entire company, And I know there are people at the
Wow.
company who are probably very nice people who've worked their ass off, etc., etc. I'm throwing in that quick coda saying, like, yes, we know it's not fine to rag on them. I wouldn't take, I wouldn't go to
Not
them and
all
say,
devs.
yeah, 100% not all devs. But by fuck, this has gone poorly, hasn't it?
They have. They have fucked it. They
Like,
fucked it.
yeah,
And like, let's be honest. Everyone knew that when you hype up a game, however much, when that game is released, the first thing anyone's going to look for are the problems.
yes, without fail.
That's all they're looking for. So you look at any game that has been released over the last few years that has had a sort of decent amount of hype around it, things like Red Dead and things like that. Every review will always focus on, well, it's okay, but this tree looks shit
Yep.
and I don't like it. It's going to happen. Cyberpunk, however, is on a different level.
Oh, it's
Just wow. Absolutely wow. And it's almost like it's hard to believe that they released it when they obviously knew it was balked.
yeah.
And we have to say that there's a sliding Cyberpunk scale of balkness for the release. Like, so on PC, and I have played it, and I'll talk about my experiences during this. I've not played it much. I've maybe got about 6-7 hours in, but on PC, it's balked. Okay, it is balked. There are bugs. It's not very well optimized. There are funny bugs, and there are absolutely game-breaking bugs, which is the reason I've only played it for 6 hours. But it's a game, so at least it functions in that sense.
Yeah.
On new gen consoles, we don't know, because as far as I'm aware, the like the optimized versions, like the Xbox, and I could be wrong here, but last time I checked, the versions that are on the Xbox One X and the PS5 are just the PS4 and Xbox One versions. They haven't released the actual optimized for those platform versions yet.
Well,
Okay.
I did a little bit of
But
looking into that.
okay, have they?
I'm not sure is the answer because I couldn't quite figure it out. But I do know that I'm seeing a lot less complaints from people playing it on new gen consoles.
There's a bit more horsepower, so
Yeah.
it's again there's more bugs than PC version, but it's kind of playable in a sense.
Yep.
However, you get to Xbox One
Oh, fucking
and
hell.
PS4, it's just fucked. There's no nice way to say it. It's just fucked. It looks like shit. It plays like shit when it works. Some of the bugs I've seen happen are just driving your car along, and then all of a sudden, oh, I must go to the moon, and your car fucks off.
Yep.
Or I've seen some just randomly your cock will fall out of your pants. And
Yes, that's an actual thing, which is disturbing.
Absolute shit show. And the problem is that they knew, because they told every person who was a streamer or a critic or a reviewer that they, under no circumstances, were they to talk about or show gameplay from those platforms.
Yeah. Now, we've been around the block a bit. We've signed our share of, NDAs. We've reviewed a bunch of stuff before release. I have never been told that I'm not allowed to tell people about the game.
No.
Ever.
I know.
And if I was, I would probably be backing away at high speed because I would be concerned about issuing a review that later, like, what are you supposed to talk about? If you get a chance to play hands-on and you're an influencer or a reviewer or a critic or anything like that, and you're then trying to put out a piece or even just being asked opinion, you sit there and go, it is certainly a game that I have now played and others will play in the future.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And
Man, it's fucked.
My favourite bug I've seen, it's a very simple one, but something about it. I watched a clip that someone put on Twitter and I laughed until I cried. And I think it's the guy's reaction, because he's driving along and he goes, whoop, quicksand again. And apparently he's had this a whole bunch, and it's on the road. And he's driving and he just goes, quicksand again. And he just slowly starts to sink into the road.
Yep.
And it's something about it is just, oh my God, it's so funny. And like, look, okay, if you're playing it and you're having a good time with it, I am happy for you. That's the thing. Like, anyone who is enjoying, because I've played games that are basically fucked. There's the story I always tell is there was a game called Cyclones on the PC back in the day, and it was shite. The graphics were shite. The mechanics were okay. There was no story. I had a blast just because the weapons in it were so over the top, and so I got to do stupid shit. Like, if you're finding enjoyment in playing it, that's brilliant. But the problems that it's having are, I think, indefensible. I think that it shouldn't have been released in the format it has been.
No.
So,
and like, I mean, I've had bugs on the PC, where like I was near a police checkpoint kind of thing, and
right.
They like a cop was like, "Oh, you look up to no good," kind of thing, and just kind of looked towards me, and then stopped, and then just floated into the sky and away. He just floated away. In just as like I just watched him go up into the sky, and then disappear.
Oh my God, that's amazing! Though
I was like, okay, it wasn't even fast. It was just like a leisurely. But it's like these bugs are funny, but there's also a lot of game breaking bugs.
Yeah.
Like I've had where I've had to go and meet somebody, like a contact, and they're just not there. They just never show up at all. So you just cannot continue that storyline or that quest.
That's the thing.
I've had my save game just completely not save. So even though it's telling me it's saved, I'll load it up the next day, and I'm like an hour back, like before. I've had just driving in my car, and then it just explodes for no reason.
Yeah, see, that's the great difference. Like, I've seen a lot of people complaining. They're saying Bethesda get let off with everything. Like Fallout, Skyrim, both buggy as hell, and they get a lot of it there. I thought, well, there's a difference there, right? One is that I played Fallout 4 to death, and I played Skyrim to death. Both of those games I've put hundreds of hours into and absolutely adore. Yes, I've seen a lot of bugs. I don't remember ever getting a majorly game-breaking bug, apart from once, where Fallout 4 lost my save file, which really pissed me off, but that was one bug that I had in the entirety of the hundreds of hours I put in there. Every other bug I found was dumb. But it was amazing. Like, I remember playing Fallout 4 and coming into one of the towns and watching essentially a Deathclaw cartwheel through the road in front of me. And I was too busy crying laughing to fight it, and then got killed when it corrected itself and came and clawed my head off. And I couldn't be mad at it.
Do you have the ability to play a video clip on the stream?
I certainly can.
Okay. I think this will just sum it up.
Okay.
For those that aren't fully aware. But and I think, but do you know what? Like, we're saying all this about it, but you know what? I have played of it when it works. It's fucking amazing.
That's the thing, and like I said,
it's really good. It's really good. I
will 100% defend the fact that if people are enjoying it, you'll have to bear with me a sec while I get this set up. But that's
fill the gap. Fill the gap.
If people are enjoying it, right, and then I'm really happy for them. Like, I'm really, really very happy for them. I think that's great. I just don't think that it's okay to ignore the fact that there are problems, which is essentially what a lot of people are doing. Right, let's go. I've got this. I've left his YouTube channel on screen and everything, so he can get credit for this. But
to Jurassic Park. It just sums it up.
Oh, fucking hell, though. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's really bad.
That covers it, doesn't it? You can't.
That I think that's all you need to see.
Yeah, that'll cover it, I think. So, Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red, Colonial Marines Memorial Award for the worst game launch of 2020 and possibly ever. Because to date, it's got to be the worst one that I can think of, off the top of my head. So yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I can't think of a worse one. I can't think of a worse one that shouldn't have been as bad as it is. Like
Yeah,
certainly, you know.
I think that's the key. Yeah,
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that bad.
it should not. So I think we'll give it its proper title, and it is the. I've lost all of my slides, but it's there. Fucked it. 2020. Oh my god! But on from a scarily bad launch to just a scary experience. You like the segue? It's perfect. I fucking worked on that for literally seconds.
Beautiful.
We're going into the Brown Trouser Award for most self-soiling inducing game experience. Now,
I have not played any scary games this year.
Al, you're a liar, and you know you're a liar.
No.
Because...
What are we talking about? I will sup on my beer.
Well, I've played a couple this year. I played Pacify, which is not scary. It's very funny. I'm sure it would be scary if you're scared of that sort of thing. And I know I've said it on several streams where we've been playing stuff. Games don't tend to get me. Same with films. Like I just don't tend to get scared of fiction normally. Pacify was fine. We've got a couple queued up for the new year that we're going to be trying. I did a little bit of Alien Isolation again earlier this year. Love that game. So I've played a few.
I'm going to revisit Blair Witch.
Please, because that was amazing watching you play that. Also,
I may revisit PT.
Oh God, please, Al, please, because that was the best time I've ever had watching you play PT. Like, don't get me wrong, like my marriage and the birth of my kids, right, yeah, obviously those were great, but watching you play PT was just a fucking delight, quite frankly. But no, the Brown Trouser Award had to go to Phasmophobia.
It's not scary,
mate. Okay, it's not scary now, but let's be fair. When we first
never was, mate.
Okay, see, I'm a little disappointed here because I couldn't get the highlight clip sorted out in time, but I did have. I was working on a supercut, which will still be happening.
You should have said.
Do you have one?
Fill time.
I'm filling time. I've got lots to talk about with this.
Talk about it.
Yeah, that's no worries. Phasmophobia is brilliant. Like I have been having the best time with Phasmophobia, and even once it stops being scary, which it does, because obviously there's only so much it can, make you shit yourself when you kind of know what's happening. But experiences are different every time, and I think even when it stops scaring you, it still unsettles me sometimes. So we first jumped into this, it was back just as it was launching. We were seeing people talking about it and thought, fuck it, we'll give it a go, and we've been streaming it basically weekly since, and for a while there streaming it most nights because it was just so addictive and people were enjoying watching it. So there's a whole bunch of us obviously been playing it. Me, Al, Ed, Tom, Tilly, Tina. Like we've had a whole crew sort of rotating in and out playing it, and it has been the best fun because in Phasmophobia you get to essentially live through an episode of Most Haunted, only in Phasmophobia, stuff actually happens, as opposed to, and if you look just over there, you'll see an orb, which is essentially the most you ever get out of an episode of Most. And yeah, Most Haunted is some of the most fun. I mean, we watch that and rip the piss out of it on a constant basis, but the weird shit that has happened in that game, even down to one night we were playing it, we went in and I watched a shoe walk towards me and I fucking shit myself. It shouldn't be as creepy and weird as it is. The bits like that, but the ghost, the first time we saw the little girl with no face, who's just got a hole and a row of teeth, that was very unsettling, and she chased us across the abandoned school.
Personally, I find the game quite relaxing.
Do you?
It was kind of just like a big, like a chat room.
I mean, yeah,
it's a place to chat with your pals.
This is true of the lobby. The lobby's fun. The lobby when you're in the garage. Although the lobby freaked you out one night, didn't it, around Halloween?
Yeah,
because he put the scarecrow in the window. It's just like you've said yourself, you don't really do horror games.
I don't do horror games.
No.
I think a lot of it is the way I play video games. Like I'm like super close to our monitor. I'm always in the dark. I'm in a little enclosed room under the stairs. Always got my headphones on. Like I'm in the game.
Oh yeah.
And I think and also I'm a big skinny, so that doesn't help either.
But I mean,
There
like,
you go.
it's
There's 2 links for you there.
oh beautiful. These are ours, I take it.
Yes.
Excellent. I should get these queued up. But that's the thing. That I think they are private, and I cannot view them.
You should be able
I
to.
can the second one. No, I can't. That's not
Oh
working.
my god, you can now.
Okay. Yeah. I think the thing is, like, I normally am fine with games, but I found Phasmophobia feels very, very immersive.
Apparently, Tilly thinks Faz with me was the best time just because I'm such a good gamer.
I'm entirely sure that's. No, do you know what? Yeah, that was it. I'm not gonna be mean. So I've brought up right. So here we go. Let's get this full screen and let's get the. Oh wait. God damn it, YouTube, calm your tits. I'm just trying to get the sound on. All right, let's get the sound on, and here we go. So here we are in Phasmophobia. Everything's quiet.
Oh, that's scary.
Wow, she's hunting. Let's one more time, please, because. Wow, she's hunting. I mean, you can see on my face I wasn't okay with that, but you can definitely hear in your voice that you were really not okay with that.
Didn't like that at all.
And the second one, let's just get that up, shall we? Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That was you. This was all your fault.
It was. I laughed like a fucking drain doing that. Your screams in the background. It's just so much fucking fun. Like, it is. And I know you kind of hit a point where, because it wasn't, like, scaring you anymore, you got a bit bored of it, which I get. Totally get. But I'm still loving it because I'm still enjoying the weird moments that you have, and also, like, it's got to a point now where when we're playing it, like, one of the things that I love, absolutely love at the minute, is if we're in a building and the ghost starts to hunt and Tina is outside the building, she will go to the door and start either singing at it or just calling it all the bastards to try and get it to come near the door so it doesn't hunt us. There is something more disturbing about being in the corner of a room hiding from something that wants you dead, and in the background you can just hear, "First I was afraid, I was perfect." It's fucking terrifying, but
I think it's definitely got, for me, one of the main reasons that I stopped playing it was it's one of those games where it's incredible to begin with, but then it becomes predictable. And I think, considering it's one guy making it and he's essentially just repurposing assets and now he's building upon that, it's got potential to be awesome.
Yeah.
In the future, and I probably will revisit it in the future. But I think a game like that, it's successful on the. What makes it successful is the unpredictability of it. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's more scary when something isn't happening because you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah,
and you don't know what is going to happen. But once you've played it for 10, 20, 30 hours or more, you know what's going to happen, so you can predict it, so then it just becomes kind of, it's not scary.
Yeah.
So if they can improve that unpredictability and just constant, like, really that game needs a constant stream of new ghosts. I know they've been doing new, like, oh, here's the prison level. It's like, that's great, but it's the same game. It's just a different different level. If they need to add new mechanics in there, like games like not Left 4 Dead, Dead by Daylight and things like that do, where every couple of months there's a new character to play as who plays completely different to all the others. So it's like, it just keeps the game fresh.
Absolutely. The longevity of it is going to be in how, as you say, how fresh you can keep it over time. I think he's got a good roadmap for it, because obviously his Trello board's online, you can check that, and he's definitely got a good roadmap for things he wants to do. I will say, like, one thing I will say is when he's added the because obviously we thought we'll try that because we streamed the prison map on the beta when it released, and we said we'll give it a go. Wasn't expecting a hell of a lot, but it'd be fun to look because we've been streaming a lot of it. It'll be good to obviously do a couple hours where we can look at the prison and have a look around it. There are subtle changes with the introduction of that map. Like there are suddenly new sound effects and things like that which get dropped in, which the creep factor's there. So if you can keep doing that, but then add in, as you say, more ghosts or more events or more bits of. I know one of the things that he wants to that he's working on adding, which I don't think is on his Trello board. I think someone mentioned it and it basically got leaked, was that he's going to put it in so that you can see the ghost at the windows from outside the house sometimes. Like you'll see shadows and that.
Just stuff like that would keep it fresh. But what you should do is add them in without telling people.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that one night, weren't we?
They should always be silent updates, always.
100%, because that way you go in and you have no idea what to expect. And there have been a couple of things which have happened, which we've looked into and gone, well, that's a bit weird, and I don't really know why that happened, and we've not found much about it. And over time, you start to see people talking about it. So I think he is doing that. I don't think there's been lots of it yet, but I think he's doing it. So if he's going to keep that going, that'll be fantastic, because every time you log into that game, especially if there's an update, you're going to be like, what the fuck's going to happen now when I go in there? And you're not going to have any clue. Which, I've done a couple of ghost hunts over the years. Like, gone in with someone guiding you around. I did one in Edinburgh years back, and I did one somewhere down south, can't remember where it was. And, it wasn't scary, to be fair, because it was a touristy thing more than it was a scary thing. But the thing about doing something like that, if you go into an abandoned house, or you don't know what's going to happen to you when you go in there, is the idea, obviously. Like, you do know you're going to go in and go, oh, it's quiet here, and then go home. But the theory is you don't know what's going to happen, and that's what adds the creep factor. So, there's a lot there. He just yells at me and runs away. It's fucking terrifying. But no, Tina's saying that Tina was shitting her pants in the beginning, and Tina was not keen on. Sorry, Tina. I keep saying it looks like Tina from it because I'm far away from my screen. Tilly was not keen on joining us at first. She was rather hesitant about jumping in because there were a lot of videos floating about of it being fucking terrifying, and we were all shitting it. So that wasn't a good. Because I remember the first night I played it, and I went into it saying, this will be, it's going to be really good fun, but it's not going to be scary. And then I was bricking it as we went round because it is very well made. Quick wee shout out as we're a little bit of dead air while I was running, probably to get more beer. But hello to Tilly Manthrax. Hey Fox, hey guys, hey everyone who's watching. Cheers for tuning in. It's Phasmophobia it's one of my favourite games of the year, definitely. If I had to pick a game of the year for me, it might be up there just from the point of view of the amount of playtime I've got out of it and the amount of fun I've had with it. Like, it's not, because if I ever pick game of the year, and we've done awards in the past when we were ST and stuff, and if I ever pick a game of the year, it's more based on the game that I've enjoyed most that year rather than most impressive game, or we all know what's going to make game of the year usually, but mine would probably be something like Phasmophobia or some of the other games that I've lost hours of my life to this year, which we will get on to as soon as Alan returns to the fold. But for a moment, dead air. It's just not good, is it? But yeah, no, Phasmophobia. There will definitely be more Phasmophobia streams coming in the new year. We've got I've noted down a couple of ideas for challenge runs we can do in it. And also I had a notion for getting a couple of people to guest with some of our regular ghost hunters. I've kind of put the feelers out a wee bit for that, so that's a possibility, but it's just going to be a case of wait and see on that one. We haven't really cemented our schedule for 2021 yet, because we didn't expect to be alive.
I returned, you never saw anything.
No, I wasn't looking. But no, so Phasmophobia, so definitely Brown Trouser Award. And I also would rate it as one of the best game debuts of the year. Like it's got to be
But
up
not
there,
the best.
but not the best, because the best will be awarded the Kurt Angle's Rookie Year Award for Best Game Debut. Look at that glorious chiseled physique on that man.
I am strangely drawn to his nipple.
Do you know what? I don't understand the point of the singlet that doesn't cover the nipple. It's always bugged me. Like, surely...
Let's not complain.
I wouldn't dare. For a start, he could kill me with a thought. That is one scary man. But one of the nicest men, I think. You know, very, very kind chap. But anyway...
Well, I don't think he could kill with a thought. I mean, his vision is based on movement now, and he can't move his neck, so he just sidestep him.
It is true. If you can get into his peripheral, you can get away.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not. What was it they said in one of the episodes of the Attitude Era podcast? I remember them saying, what was it? Could we please not keep making fun of the husk that my favourite wrestler has become? He's not my favourite, but he's up there, and it's terrible being a wrestling fan. But anyway. So the Kurt Angle's rookie year. Now, obviously, Kurt Angle had one of the best rookie years in the business. Like him, The Rock. You know, there's a few names that the meteoric climb to superstardom in the WWE definitely goes hand in hand with those names. So we had a little think about the game this year that had a similar, like, holy shit, that came out of nowhere. And definitely, like, honourable mentions, definitely Phasmophobia. One dude makes game in basement, I assume, because, you know, got to be in the basement or the garage. But makes game in basement and then makes, like, a bajillion pounds and everyone's playing it and all the YouTubers are playing it. Similarly, Among Us. That was a game that...
That came out in 2018.
It did. It did. That's why it's an honourable mention.
Which I didn't realise.
No, because neither did I.
No.
Yeah. No, that's why that was an honourable mention, because that was one... It feels like its debut year, because this is the year that it's released on everything and has shot to the moon. And it is tremendous fun. It is a brilliant little game. We've had a couple of nights on that and had a really good laugh. So, 100% love that game. So that gets an honourable mention here, but obviously, as you say, 2018 was its actual debut, and 2, it's not quite as big as a game that I know is close to my heart, Al. And I know that you particularly
love it.
Yeah.
It is a great game.
I didn't do the drum roll. I don't think it deserves it. Just crickets.
It's a good game, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah.
And you should all try it. And yeah.
This does sound like we're giving Fall Guys shit. We're not. We haven't played it yet.
No,
we haven't got around to it. And we've been saying since it came out, really got to pick up Fall Guys, because it does look fucking awesome. Like it looks in that sort of Gang Beasts level of. It just looks fun. It just looks like one of those games that you're just going to be laughing the whole time you're playing it with your mates. Mm-hmm. Which is
it's a knockout.
Yeah.
Video game edition is essentially what it is.
Or Takeshi's Castle. It's that kind of thing.
Takeshi's Castle.
Which, as we all know, is very funny. So it does look bloody brilliant, but unfortunately, and how many copies did it sell?
So it sold on PC only since August of this year, 11 million copies.
That's fucking insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
It was a PlayStation Plus free title as well. So it's only the PC sales. It's absolutely
that's
insane. In its first week on Steam, it sold 2 million copies.
Jesus wept.
It's ridiculous. And I think the secret to its success is in August, which is the month that it released, there was 113 million hours of Fall Guys watched on Twitch.
Holy fuck. Well, there you go. There's the proof in the pudding that Twitch sells games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, which was never really in doubt, but Jesus Christ. I mean, and you know, from everything I can see, from literally everything I've seen of it, it's deserved. Like, it's 100% deserved. It looks amazing. It looks like great fun. I am really looking forward to playing it. I've held off because I feel like we need everyone to get it. You know, we need all of our little gaming group to pick up Fall Guys, and then it'll be fun. Because I don't want to play it with randomers. I know you can, as far as I'm aware, and I'm sure it's probably good fun. But I like to play with mates.
It's each game is 60 people.
See, that's also going to make it more entertaining, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because having that many people falling over. I think another thing as well that certainly helps is Fall Guys have done the thing where they've got collabs with other games, haven't they? So there's an Among Us Fall Guy, I believe, now. There is, unfortunately, a ninja Fall Guy suit. And I don't mean like badass Japanese warrior, I mean that prick on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we're never going to shy away from giving ninja shit. We're just brave that way. But no, it's like it's any game that picks up that much collaboration and everyone wants to play it. That like it's done phenomenally well. But as I said, if you're going to ask us our opinions about it, it's back to the crickets because we haven't played it yet. So I'm sorry, Fall Guys. You win, but we don't know if you're any good. We can but assume. Yeah, it could be.
Could you imagine? Really good fucking marketing.
That would be the worst, though, wouldn't it? If we actually pick this up and then next year we've got another award in, like, you know, it's like, man, the award for the game that lied to us the most in 2020. But no, it does look like a game. It certainly looks like a game that if we could get our group playing it, because I know Tilly's got it. She's actually saying in chat that it's awesome. It's frustrating as hell, but very, very funny. So I know Tilly's got it. I know Ed wants to get it. I want to get it, and you've mentioned get it. So, you know, we can get a group together. We'll have to do it at some point. And there you go, our pal Scott's in the chat. He said, it's the only game that has made him laugh as much as Gang Beasts.
Oh, well, there you go. Then.
So that's a good check, because Gang Beasts is fucking awesome.
Fall Guys, as good as Gangbangs.
As Gang Beasts. No, let's go with the first one. Fall Guys is as good as Gangbangs. Ultimate knockout. A bot. No, we don't want any of you.
Oh, wait, no. Do we want to become famous? We can buy followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollowers.com.
I'll hit the button to take advantage of... Oh, I've blocked them. Wait, no, I haven't.
Oh.
What?
Tilly, do your job.
I have. Right, they're blocked. But yeah, so Fall Guys. So we will... Fall Guys is the one thing on this list that we had to give it the award, really, given its debut,
yes.
But we have no fucking idea if it's any good. So, you know, make of that what you will. So we'll just slide into the next award. Fuck it, let's move on. So the next award is the Relaxing Hovis Theme Music Intensifies Award. Now, there is a little...
Where did you get that picture of me from?
I took it while you were sleeping. It's not creepy.
You bastard.
Now, this game definitely requires a little... this award definitely requires a little bit of explanation, I think, because I haven't put any in the actual slide. But as you know, I like games where I can dig for several years. So, obviously Minecraft I have sunk, I don't know how much of my life into, but it's probably more than is healthy. And certainly, and honourable mentions here again, because this year I have played... we've just got back into Stardew Valley. It's your first experience in Stardew Valley, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's been fun, and it's super chill. Like, it's really nice. Love Stardew. I have played that for fucking hours on Xbox. I'm now going to play it for hours on PC. So Stardew's in it. Hydra Near has been one this year that I have been absolutely blown away by. It is so good.
Have I played a relaxing game this year?
I mean, you may have played a game that's supposed to be relaxing, but you haven't been relaxed by it. Because we do play games a little differently.
What?
Well, like, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. There's got to be a game you've played this year that other people would be relaxed by and you got annoyed with.
I don't know. I think. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
But so I sat down and thought, this was going to Hydra Near. It absolutely was going to Hydra Near because that game is just phenomenally good. And it's another game that, as far as I'm aware, it's one dude making it. I'm pretty certain it's just one guy. He might have a bit of help with social media, I think, but it is one guy. It is fucking awesome. You basically just get a big plot of dirt. You dig in it, you pan for gold and gems and stuff, and then you can buy stuff. You can build a house in it, and you build it all in panels. But you can build machines that will dig for you, sort the stuff for you. I've built a factory in mine that sorts everything into separate tubs, and then I take it and I smelt it down and I go and sell it and I make my gold and I build up my house. I have put hours. I didn't actually check. I should have checked my Steam time on it, but I put hours into that game, and yet I haven't moved away from the first patch of dirt yet. I'm still digging that one because I've got it set up so nicely that I'm like, I'm going to strip mine this into nothingness, and then I'll buy a bigger plot of land and see what I can get there. There is a load of that game I haven't touched. So Hydroneer, absolutely. Stardew Valley will always be one of these games. Minecraft, because I'm going back to that, and we've just picked up Minecraft Java, and I'm going to be doing a modded server on there, which will probably be streamed. So lots of stuff. But the game this year that stole my life and just gave me a happy the most was
happy,
not in an erection way, although ironically was Littlewood.
Oh, okay. I've not played it, so I will listen.
Littlewood it looks a bit like Stardew Valley. It looks a bit like Terraria. It's a pixel art game. It is an RPG set after you've saved the world, and all you've got to do then is go back to your hometown and just chill. And it's lovely. You go back and you meet people in the town, and they want to move into your little village, and you can set stuff up, and you can go off and you can go fishing. Obviously, every game's got fishing. It's just nice. And it's actually got a really cool story. You start the game with no memory of the events that went before. You are told that you saved the world and you're the big hero, but you don't remember any of it. So you just putter about town, building houses for people, and throughout the game, more people come in and say, "Oh, can I move into your town?" And you have to make sure that you've got the right wood and stuff to build them a house, and you just build up this nice little community. And there is absolutely zero consequence to the game. Like, if you can't build their house, they'll just hang about until you can. If you don't catch a fish that you need in the right season, it's fine, because it'll be back, and it won't take long. And when you get towards the end of the game, like when you've basically done everything, and bear in mind that I had done everything, and I was still playing it, because I was just rearranging my town. And you get to a point where it's like, it's fine, you can reverse time now, because like you do run out of stamina during the day. But you get to a point where it's like, no, you can just reverse time, so you haven't, but your own personal time, so you've got your stamina back. Just carry on. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about night time. That'll come when you're ready for it. It is an absolute zero consequence game. Nothing bad can happen. And there's something so relaxing about it. The only thing I will say is I hit a point, but like, I stopped playing it because I had done everything in it, and it hasn't pulled me back yet because I know I've done everything in it. So it could do with an update. But that being said, every now and again, that hasn't pulled me back for a massive play session. But every now and again, I have fired it up and just gone and tweaked my town to make it look prettier. I don't think I will ever be finished playing Littlewood because I'll always have just one more idea that I could make that look a bit nicer.
You sound like he's going to break into, we'll always have Littlewood.
It is that. It's just nice. It is just lovely. It is absolutely... So that's why this award is called the Relaxing Hovis Theme Music Intensifiers, because it is literally a game that as I was playing it, I found myself sitting there going... Na, 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 na. It's just fucking lovely. And it smells like warm bread and cookies.
I could play that game and make it competitive and get stressed out at it.
Yeah, you would. I 100% guarantee it, because that's why I say we definitely play games differently sometimes. Like not certain games, but there are some games I know that you really like the feeling of progression in a game.
Yes,
I can play a game where I'm not getting any of that because I'm just working on something. Like I don't think Minecraft, like in creative, you don't really have any progression apart from the seeing what you're building come to fruition.
No.
Which I know we've done stuff in the past with Minecraft, and you've got bored because it's not giving you enough back for what you're doing.
I do require that gameplay loop.
Yeah, 100%.
I do like the do a thing which progresses something in a tangible way.
Yeah.
So like in Minecraft, for example, there's nothing hidden behind anything. I haven't got to do anything to progress to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
and so I struggle. I struggle with games like that. So I probably struggle with Littlewood because
I
there's no
think,
there isn't a feedback loop that I like.
yeah, I don't know that. I think you would love the art style. That's one thing. I know you would love the art style because it's that really well done pixel art. It's pixel art, but it's very detailed. So like, although it's pixel art, like the hair on the character moves in the wind and stuff like that, it's very nice. I
Hmm.
think you'd love the look of it. I think you would probably. It's one of those games that I know you would turn to me afterwards and go, "That's a very good game that I'm never going to play again." Like, I think it's got that to it. Like, I don't know that you would have. I certainly don't think you'd find anything about it where the game has done wrong, but it would definitely have been done wrong for you. Potentially. But then again, I would definitely recommend literally anyone to try it because I want more people to love Littlewood. Because I want more updates. Because I want stuff. Because I know there is an update coming, which I'm waiting on. The other thing with Littlewood, that I know Ed picked it up after I recommended it, and just like he had the same experience as me. I played it for God knows how long, and it constantly kept unlocking new stuff, like new areas I could go and do things. And like, it was just like, oh, there's another forest over here you could go to, and there's a bit here you can fish in as well. But it just seemed to be never ending for such a small game on the surface. There was so much to do in it, but it was all just very like, get to it when you can. Don't worry about it. It's no bother. Like it was lovely. So that is my relaxing Hovis theme music intensifies award for Littlewood. But
Littlewood.
we now go to the polar opposite of the relaxing Hovis theme music intensifiers award, because the next award, which is all you, is the Mayday Award for almost killing Alan through a stress-induced cardiac event.
It does happen on a year-by-year basis.
It does. It genuinely
It
does.
does. It does happen.
But in this case, I mean, have there been multiple? Are there any honourable mentions here for games that have driven you to, apart from Warcraft and Roly Boys?
Uh, Fuck, man. Why? Why did you have to say it?
I know,
Yeah, there's
sorry.
been a few. There's been a few events that have. It doesn't happen a lot, but where I've had to just walk away and want to take up smoking again. Definitely for sure. However, uh, the I think the game and the situation you're referring to here is probably Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
It absolutely is, and I may have put the drum roll right over the top of you there. In a terrible, terrible bit of editing. It absolutely is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, because you told me a story that
Yeah.
I felt awful for you, but also in retrospect is very, very amusing.
Yeah. So Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is a very, very, very good flight simulator. It's almost to the point of you kind of have to see and play it to believe it. The technology it uses, it essentially uses the same kind of technology that Google Maps uses. So it has mapped the entire world, and it uses AI and server farms. I mean, I have to find the numbers here. So it uses offsite AI to generate the world.
Yep.
Um, Let me just sorry, fill time, fill time.
That's right, I've got the crickets for that. Look, just press the button and it goes. It's great. People love crickets, mate. But no, it is. I haven't played and I love flight simulator games. I absolutely adore them. And I played the old flight simulators. I played Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator a lot. Battle of Britain back in the day. F-15 Strike Eagle 2, still one of my favourite games ever made. So,
Yep.
which also, I love the fact that it came with actual paper maps of the places I was blowing up, so that was always fun. But I haven't played this one, but I have watched you play it via stream, I should point out, because, lockdown. But Al has streamed, just like private streamed some games when we've been sat chatting of an evening. Last night, well, the night before we're doing this live, because this will be going out. This will be going out on YouTube for the 2020 award show, and it will be going out as a podcast. I will be ripping the audio out of this and sticking it up on SoundCloud. but the night before the award show, Al took a wee flight from Edinburgh to somewhere near Tom's house.
It was
Forget.
Gatwick.
Gatwick, that was it. And we were watching and mostly just making jokes about the fact that he was clearly going to bank it into Birmingham. But it was, it's amazing. It looks like, it does actually look like you're sat in a plane. Like, that's the only way I can put it. I can't, there's nothing else to, in some games you can talk about like, oh, the water effects are amazing, or the textures on this. In this is like, it looks like you're in a plane. I don't know what you want from me. It is very, very real. And I know...
Yeah.
Do you know, I actually saw complaints from a couple of people online saying when you get really close to the houses, they lose detail. I'm like, if you're that close to the house, you're not a very good pilot.
Exactly.
So I won't
like, the thing,
worry.
Like the play, like... So, yeah, I was just looking for face there. So, everything is what I would call live. So, it pulls real-time weather from wherever you are in the world. So, if you're at a place in the world... Like, if you was flying over your house... which you can do. You can go fly over your own house.
Yep.
And it was raining, and it was windy. It would be rainy and windy in the game. All the traffic is live traffic. It's just very, very incredible. And every button in every plane works. So when it first came out, I was learning how to fly planes.
Indeed.
So I was learning how to do all the systems in the planes and all this kind of stuff. It was fine.
You took a test flight to my place once, didn't you?
I did, yeah, and barreled into the sea.
Yeah, near Aaron. So I apologise to Aaron for the intrusion there. They must have wondered what was going on, but...
So I got kind of comfortable with the rudimentaries, and I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I now know how to do a flight plan, and so I did a flight plan, and it was like I overestimated my abilities a little bit, and I did like a 9-hour flight across the US kind of thing. So I took off and got myself airborne and following all the proper procedures and got to my cruising altitude, settled in for the cruise. Generally, in a cruise, you're not doing much. No. You've kind of just got the plane on autopilot, keep it level. You're just monitoring systems and keeping in touch with air traffic control. So I was doing this for a few hours, and as is my wont, when it gets to sort of late at night, I start to nod off in my chair, and I fell asleep in my chair while flying. Now, I thought
to interject very quickly, we were actually chatting to you at the start of this flight because we were all in Discord that night, I remember. So we were yakking to you at the start of this flight. You set off, and of course it's real time. It's
it's real time.
Well. So Al had been flying for...
if it's an 8-hour flight, it's going to take you 8 hours.
Yeah, and I think we've been in Discord yakking. I think we might have been playing Phasmophobia, and then we knocked off for the night, and we were just sat talking, and Al went very quiet. We kind of figured he'd fallen asleep, so we do have a routine for Al where we play the down the mic at him to wake him up, because, and it's out of a place of love, because you have in the past fallen asleep and then fallen out of your chair and wiped out everything around you. So we try and make sure you can get to bed. This night it didn't work, and we ended up having to leave you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I play games, as I said before, I play them in the dark. I'm in an enclosed space. Like, I can't outstretch my arms. It's that enclosed. I can just about do the fish was this big, and I'm touching both sides of the walls. I'm under the stairs, headphones on, and I fell asleep. Now, I'd overestimated my ability with all the systems in this Airbus A320, and while I had assumed I'd put the autopilot on, all I had done is essentially instructed the plane to fly straight and level. So it was just fly straight and level. I woke up some hours later, and it was some hours later, it was about 3 a.m. or something, to the sound of a pull up, altitude. I'm like, what the fuck? And I open my eyes, and I have an ultra-wide monitor. So all I can see is monitor. I have to turn my head if I want to see anything else but monitor. And all I could see as I woken up was me barreling into like the side of a mountain, having run out of fuel and flown like to fucking Canada or something, and holding a joystick in my hand and just I'm like, oh, what? Oh, as I crashed into the side of this thing. And for about 5 to 10 seconds, I was a pilot in a plane that was going to crash.
Yeah.
I cannot. It may not sound scary, but that moment between being asleep and being fully awake in consciousness, that kind of, is it a dream? Is it not a dream? Where am I? That was just that. That was just alarms going off, the plane heading down, me holding a stick. All I can see is this mountain in photorealistic detail coming towards me, not being able to do anything, thinking of my kids, what's going to happen, crashing into it, the screen going black, and me going, what? And I was actually shaking. Because the last thing I remember was just talking to you guys.
Yeah.
So it was just so weird. It was such a weird situation to wake up to. And it's probably the scariest moment I've had in gaming ever. Because it felt so real. Because I just got woken up like that. Imagine that's the first thing. Imagine waking up and the first thing you see when you open your eyes from a deep sleep is a train coming towards you.
Oh yeah.
It was like that. It's fucking terrifying.
That moment between the unconscious and the fully conscious is horrible anyway, because I've woken up and not been sure where I am and all that sort of. We've all done that. I know I've fallen asleep before, like watching YouTube videos, and it's just kept playing, and I've woken up to an advert for Annabelle where it's just showing her face, and I woke up and just basically tried to crawl back into my couch because I wonder why I was being attacked by a giant ventriloquist dummy. So I've had weird moments, but for that, you were in an immersive experience, an immersive moment anyway. And as you say, your method of play is particularly immersive. And then, but it was just the next day getting a Facebook message from you just saying, "I thought I died last night." I'm like, "What the fuck has happened?"
I genuinely thought I was dying.
Oh man,
just absolute panic, heart going, everything. Oh man, it's horrible.
Well, I felt awful for you. And at the same time, it's the funniest thing because all I can picture is imagining being anyone else looking at it, and you're there like, "I'm dying, going down," and anyone else looking, going, "He knows this isn't real. Why this is?" But yes, so
scarily, they've just updated Flight Simulator to support VR.
Oh fuck!
So
no, you can't.
Might have to bust out the might have to bust out the Vive and get it set up and have a little session on that.
Yeah,
and see how it goes.
Al, no.
But Flight Simulator, if you want to try it, it is free on Games Pass.
It is.
Which leads us into, I guess, the final award of the night.
The final award of the night, and it's a doozy. Now, I should just quickly mention, very important. Obviously, with all of the awards tonight, we are not sponsored by the Let Me In meme guy, Aliens, Colonial Marines, any company that makes brown trousers, Kurt Angle, Hovis, or planes, and the concept of flight.
I'm sponsored by Kurt Angle.
Oh well, Al's sponsored personally by Kurt Angle, but that's more of a sports deal.
That's more of an Alcoholics Anonymous thing.
Oh god. But no, that's it. Like that's we're not sponsored by any of those. But this last award, oh god, yeah, I'll take anything. I'll shill for anyone. But this last award is 100% sponsored, of course, and it is sponsored because
I want to be sponsored by something completely not sponsorable. If that's a word.
Something like completely irrelevant that you couldn't be sponsored by.
Well, just like like Jeff's Pies, like just something completely ridiculous. I will literally take sponsorship for £1.
Just so you can say,
just so I can say, yes, I'm sponsored by Jeff and Pete's Fence Services in Middlesbrough. Tilly, sponsor me for £1.
Yeah,
and I will shill the fuck out of it.
In fact, we'll put up a what's the word? We'll put up a vanity card on all streams with logos of any company that gives us £1.
Yeah. Well, actually, we'll start at £5, but the more ridiculous your company name, the cheaper it gets.
Yeah, like if you're something like what's the there's that really bad pun barber's name. But if you're something like you're a barber in Grimsby and you want to sponsor us for £1 and you've got a terrible pun name, but you have to be from a shit town as well.
Yeah, like if you own a kebab shop called Kebabalon,
Yeah, well, we'll take it. Oh, fuck it.
Absolutely.
Just give me a kebab and that's it. I'm done.
Just give me kebab, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
your money. I just need that sweet, sweet meat. That was vaguely sexual.
Vaguely. Moving on.
Yeah, so the final award of the night, this one is sponsored, of course, and this is the Quick Save Award for Best Value in Gaming. Now, obviously, Quick Save, I assume they're still a very big thing, and while...
Are they? Let's have a look.
Oh, massive, mate. And while they haven't actually returned any of my calls or emails or letters, I know they're going to, so we'll just assume we're sponsored by them. I hope they haven't folded.
They shared 2007.
Oh, okay, that's awkward, because I have put quite a lot of money into this in the assumption that they would pay it back. That's fine, we'll sell Tom again. We use Tom like, you know that scam that people do where they'll sell you a dog, but the dog's trained to come back to you?
Uh-huh.
That's what we do with Tom. We sell him to people, but we give him, like money for the bus so he can get back. Poor Tom.
Poor Tom.
But no, the Quick Save Award for Best Value in Gaming, which, I mean, I think we've already kind of, we haven't exactly buried the lead on this one. But this is not only the best value in gaming, it has ruined gaming forever.
Yeah, it has fucking ruined gaming. They should be ashamed of themselves.
They should. The bastards. And it is, of course, Xbox Game Pass. Now...
Yeah. You've ruined games.
They have, because what the fuck? I cannot decide what to play. There's too many fucking games. My wallet was an automatic break point. So that I would, I mean, even then I had a pile of shame a mile high, but at least I knew it's like, I'm not going to, I can't afford to waste money on games this month, so I'll just play some of my back catalogue. Well, now I don't have a back catalogue, I just have an ever-rotating list of really good shit to play.
It's actually disgusting.
It's insane, the amount of, and it's not just crap either. There's so many good games.
It doesn't sound real. So there's 211 games on Games Pass, right?
Yep.
And obviously some of them rotate, so that will go down and go up as it goes on. But considering the fact that it's now on PC,
yeah,
and there's PC games on Games Pass, like that, and PC games that aren't on console. So you're getting kind of the best of both worlds, really. So there's hundreds of games on there, but you're also getting first-party Microsoft games for free on launch.
Yeah, it is.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
because it's what is it? Let's have a look. Games Pass Ultimate Year. So you can pick up a Xbox Games Ultimate Pass for 12 months for 99 quid.
Yeah, see, that's 2 games if you buy them.
That is 2 games.
Yeah.
That's £8.25 a month. Now, if you was to buy 2 games a year, Microsoft games a year, which is entirely possible, it's paid for itself.
Yeah.
But you also get this huge fucking catalogue of games that you'll never play because there's too many.
This is the thing. Like I sat there. Wait, it's not just that either. You get discounts. Like you get a 10% discount on, and this really sounds like we are sponsored by Xbox. We're not, although I would fucking love to be, but we're not sponsored by them. We are not shilling for them. We just are really fucking impressed and slightly baffled and bewildered by Xbox Game Pass, and we have been saying this since it fucking arrived. Like when it launched. There were 100 games in there, and I remember we looked at it and said, "Look, there's that I want to play, and there's that I want to play. It's paid for the year. Like fuck buying games."
If I look at Games Pass, this is Games Pass PC now. If I look at my Games Pass PC and I look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that's 8, 16. Look at the last 20 games to be released on Games Pass. Okay.
Yep.
And this is a selection of some of those. So Among Us, it's free. Dark Pictures Man of Median, it's free. Gears 5 Game of the Year Edition, it's free. The new ukulele game, it's free. Greedfall, it's free. Doom Eternal, it's free.
Jesus.
Dragon Quest 11, it's free. Starbound, it's free. Like, it's just disgusting. All the Age of Empires games, all the Forza games,
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons, Grounded, Gears Tactics, Crusader Kings 3, Streets of Rage 4, Wastelands 3, No Man's Sky. It's just insane.
I mean, look at that as well. There you go, straight away. No Man's Sky, that is a game with infinite playability. Like, that's fucking huge. Minecraft Dungeons is fantastic. I would absolutely have bought that. Didn't bother because it's in Games Pass.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that you kind of look at and think, how are you still making money? Like,
I know. And let's not forget they've just announced, well, not just, but in the last few months of that, best of games will be on Games Pass.
Yes. And
so
they've now absorbed EA Play.
Yeah.
That is now included.
Oh yeah, you get EA Play.
So
do you like EA games? Well, they're free.
Do you like EA games? No, but if you did, but no, there are. Like, I sat there the other, like, one of the things. My eldest loves Sims. Right, she loves Sims 4 and plays it to death. And even down to the fact that this is fucking terrible, but she was like, she's got it on physical. And that's just gathering dust on the shelf. She's like, fucking in Games Pass, I'll just download it now. But now I was sat there like, I don't really play Sims. I have, and it's a laugh. I would never have bought it because it's not worth it for me for the playtime I get out of it. But when it's part of that, yeah, I'll probably play it because I will have a laugh with it for a few hours. So I'll grab it. But then there's every chance they'll end up getting money off me now because there's an add-on pack where your Sims can be vampires. Alan, it's vampires. Like, when have I ever said no to a fucking vampire? And of course, you get all of your DLC and shit at discounted rates. Because you remember the thing. Plus, they started throwing in perks. And you know, this is what really pisses me off about my fellow gaming brethren, right? And this is the problem with all of us, right? There's all of that available to you. And one of the things I saw complaints about was, well, perks aren't very good, are they? It's like, they're called perks. They're added extras. Just be grateful they're fucking there. That's like getting a blowjob, right? And then complaining that afterwards the cuddle wasn't very nice. It's like, well, you still got a blowjob and a cuddle. Like, fucking live your life. It's so frustrating. Like, so frustrating when people moan about shit like that. But yeah, Game Pass it has genuinely...
It does, however,
everything.
It does create the Netflix conundrum of you spend that long looking for what game to play, you just don't play a game.
Yes, and this is where we get to the way it really has ruined gaming, because for all of those titles on there, I don't play most of them because I look at them for an hour and then go, I'll just do some Phasmophobia. I can't fucking decide. Or I'll just jump back in the
I think it's
well.
also like back in today when you'd spend 40 quid or whatever on a new game, you'd play it, and that would be the game that you'd play. Even if it was a bit shit, you'd kind of keep going, and you know, like it might have a shit couple of hours, but then because you keep playing it, it becomes good, and you think, oh, it's good, you know, because you've spent 40 quid on it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I do see a lot of people fire up a game on Games Pass, play it for 20 minutes, go, well, whatever, and then move on to the next one. So it kind of has that buffet effect where you go for a Chinese meal, you have a little bit of everything, but you don't actually really enjoy one of the courses fully because you've just got lots of little things piled on your plate. Whereas you go out for a meal that you spent 50, 60 quid on, you're going to sit there and savor it and enjoy it.
It is.
So it does create that kind of style of gaming, but the value's just incredible.
That's the thing. Like, there are definitely cons to it. And obviously, when we say that it's ruining gaming, because, you know, I mean, look, I don't want to anger another gaming community. I haven't the energy this year. Like, I don't want... 2020's probably going to end in fire and plague and pestilence anyway. I don't need to end it being torn apart by an army of neckbeards. So... we're not actually saying it's ruined anything. We are both big fans of Xbox Game Pass. I think I wouldn't normally speak for you, but I think that's probably fair to say. It is fucking phenomenal, and it is one of the absolute best purchases that I make on a monthly basis. It's, I mean, I get more out of this even than the many OnlyFans I've signed up to, because you can only wank so much, but you can play games a lot more often. So...
Just end it there. That's the last sentence.
That's it done. I don't get to defend
That's
any
it.
of that, and that's just the end of it.
No, that's it.
That's fair.
That's the end.
Do you know what really worries me is, having said that, our viewer figures jumped up. Like, is this what they were waiting for? Because I've got the Pornhub sound effect queued up somewhere. So. But no, it's phenomenal. Like, it's great. But yeah, it's been. I suppose I should flip back to our Morecambe and Wise thing and be on camera for the sign out. Really.
Yep.
Bring me sunshine. There we go. That's us fucking taken down. Yeah, so that's the award show 2020. Now, if the world hasn't ended, I should say, by this time next year, we'll do another one.
Language is your tool.
You'd think, wouldn't you, after all these years of talking? But I still haven't mastered it. I think the coding's kicking in, to be honest. We're probably ending this at the right time before I become a puddle. But no, it's just. I mean, obviously, this gave us a chance to round up our year in gaming a wee bit. And also give some stick to Cyberpunk 2077. I think everyone should.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a good year for gaming in many respects. It's been a hard year for gaming, and my heart goes out to all the devs who are struggling because they've had to put stuff back or haven't been able to release on time and things because of staffing and all that sort of thing. So it's not been easy for a lot of the companies, I'm sure. But there've been some great games come out. We've played some fucking stonkers. Played some absolute shit as well, but that's the up and downside of things like Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, so I suppose that's it really. Just sort of tail off and not really, just go like, meh. Let's end it with a sigh, shall we? No, I suppose we should say goodbye. But yeah, so that's our award show. Thank you for joining us. Al, we've got lots coming up in 2021 if we live that long.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
Tons of stuff. We haven't really discussed any of it, and I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it'll be great because we're awesome. I'm really noticing and really irritated by the fact that my shoulders don't line up with Eric Morecambe's shoulders on that picture. So that's how I'm ending this show, with some sort of OCD flare up. That's great. But yeah, so thank you for joining us tonight, folks. Al, thank you for joining me, and thank me for joining you. And
nice to see you. To see you, nice.
Yeah, I suppose that's it until next time. So, daddy bye.
Daddy bye. Bye.